This is Not a Spring Chick, and actually I'm doing some planning for upcoming episodes of Not a Spring Chick for how-tos, cooking, product reviews, that type of stuff. And you thought it all came off the top of my head, or out of the newspaper, or off the news. Well, it takes a little bit more planning than that. So here we are with Oldecam for OFM with comments on the headlines of today. Obama distances himself from another clergyman.
Yeah, it seems to me to be simpler just to leave the church than to keep distancing yourself from one sermon after another in that church.
Top Democrats to push for swift end to primary race.
Yeah, they don't believe in democracy. Every vote doesn't count in the Democratic Party no matter what they say.
But weren't they trying to say that in Recount, that movie?
That's right. Well, that's probably why Recount died so badly, is because they didn't want to have any involvement with it, with this mess going on.
McClellan says he believed in Bush as war started.
Yeah, and he also believes in how much money he's making from all the people on the left to say all of this in his book.
You know, there was some discussion about that on the news, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's called the rats leaving a sinking ship.
At 60, UN peacekeeping overstretched, tarnished by scandal.
Well, yeah, because they're not getting the best of anybody as peacekeepers. They're getting the ones that people can afford to part with.
City residents produce less carbon dioxide, researchers find.
They keep pointing that thing out. I mean, they obviously don't live in Chicago, Los Angeles, Denver. You know, if they did, they would see sort of that little brown stuff sitting around all over the place.
Mole on back links R. Kelly to sex tapes, says prosecution.
Or it might not, because they really can't get a good view of it.
Top Democrats to push for swift end to primary race.
Yeah, I mean, Nancy Pelosi has said that if Hillary doesn't basically kiss Obama's butt, you know, that she's going to do it for her.
Oh, sect members waiting for children to be returned.
Yeah, but that's not the way it works in family court services. They actually have the last say over the court no matter what.
U.S. probes whether laptop copied on China trip.
Yeah, like you got to take your laptop to China and not count on it being copied.
Well, there are still people that don't believe that their company reads their emails at work.
I know.
Soldier suicides hit highest rate, 115 last year.
Yeah, the people like that should have never been in the military to begin with. Because folks, you do not have to go to war if you do not want to go to war. All you have to do is to go to jail. And I think jail is preferably to die. Comic
powerhouse Harvey Korman dies at 81.
I know, I mean, I've never met him, but I met Tim Conway. And Tim Conway thought an awful lot of Harvey Korman, both as a comedian and as an actor.
Review, Lost ends season with answers and mystery.
Yeah, well, isn't that typically Lost? That's why it's Lost.
Study, bacteria may be linked in sudden baby deaths.
Yeah, I think they found an X amount of children that have, that problem, have got some sort of bacteria in their system that basically, they really don't know how it got there, but it is present in an X amount of them.
Pressure increases on Israeli Prime Minister.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, another one of the people testified against him yesterday, but he did, actually the guy that did the bribing testifying was sort of screws him.
Myanmar criticized for still hindering foreign aid.
Yeah, but they keep telling you every day that they're allowing them in.
Oh. Afghanistan seeks to revive farming sector addicted to opium.
Yeah, because opium pays them more money than any other cash crop.
Chemical fire, rain hamper China quake recovery.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just a disaster to figure that they could lose another 1 million homes.
Ooh.
That's right.
Britain looked to Israel when studying military deception.
I don't know why, but since they don't have an army that is large enough to mount a hill of beans, but if the British want to say they're learning from the Israelis, then they can say all they want.
Recognition of gay marriages in New York faces battle.
Yeah, the churches are all against it, the county administrators are against it, the licensed people are against it, and the legislature is against it. Other than that, the governor's got a lot of support.
UW-Madison poised to name openly gay chancellor.
Yeah, I mean, that's, who cares? I mean, first of all, the guy shouldn't be going, and the best way to do it is don't ask, don't tell, and nobody cares.
45 advance to final day of National Spelling Bee.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, that actually the spelling bee is a big thing. I remember when they actually did have school back when I was young. I advanced as far as getting up on the stage.
Storm derails train, damages buildings in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, the storms, basically the storms are returning to the way the storms were when I was younger. They were really bad I mean, it snowed in the month I was born in the middle of the summer.
Toyota denies decision on Prius in U.S.
Yeah, that's because General Motors is having money problems and they want to join with General Motors to use their factory to turn them out.
Oil prices fall to near $126 a barrel.
But gas prices are going up, and it has nothing to do with collusion on the part of the petroleum companies. They don't own the oil. The oil is owned by foreign countries, and people in foreign countries are willing to rack the price up because they want the oil.
Dell shares get boost from strong earnings report.
And then they got knocked down again from, indictments shortly thereafterwards.
GM may reassign workers from trucks to cars.
Well, yeah, the trucks aren't selling. They knew the trucks weren't going to sell, and they weren't selling for years, so it's sort of a logical thing they should have done 3 years ago.
Study Stonehenge was a burial site for centuries.
As the man just got through saying on the news show, he said, he's 80 years old, and he knew that in England when he was a kid in school. But it makes good. He also said it makes good TV and lousy science.
Well, sometimes it happens on TV. World's rarest rhino caught wrecking video camera.
Yeah, he didn't want his picture taken.
I guess you knew what was going on.
That's right.
Egypt planning DNA test for 3,500-year-old mummy.
Yeah, they want to see who he's related to.
Phoenix Mars lander ready to flex its robotic arm.
I mean, it's not 3 days now, and they still haven't got that arm fixed.
Dior drops actress for China remark.
Basically, they violated Sharon Stone's freedom of speech and freedom of religion. She could basically say anything they want. They can fire her for not doing her job, but not fire her for making a religious statement they don't approve of. This is the United States, folks.
Myanmar's government has formally adopted a new national constitution.
Yeah, well, it was almost approved by 100% of the people during the middle of the disaster.
China's poorest, already struggling with soaring food prices, are likely to find their cupboards even barer after the disaster.
Chinese government really doesn't care.
Nomination is awarded on the basis of delegates, not raw votes.
Yeah, then the Democrats, they fought so hard to make certain that the presidency was on raw votes and not on delegates.
Well, isn't that funny?
I know.
Envoys meet on Friday to discuss the rising cost of food.
Yeah, like you can't control the cost of growing it, so therefore you can't control the cost of it.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Well, you can't have it both ways in this world unless you're an elected official.